Thank Greg Simone as well for serving, for opening the doors when I was serving my suspension. Hey guys, get up here. Come on, U18 team right here. So as they come up, I'm going to make sure I keep my comments pretty short tonight, because we've got 14 seniors to get through. And like you, I want to check my brackets too. So, everybody's still in it. Yeah. Come on, guys. I guess now it's wireless. I guess I'll get over here. All right. So, to say we got off to a rocky start at the beginning of the season would be kind of an understatement. Our first game against Tri-City, we won easily. Then we went down to Hampton Roads for 2 games, which was on their home ice, so it was like the home and away game. Out of that, we came out of there 0-1-1 and a coach suspension. So, then we went up to Southern Maryland, where we ended up with a tie and another coach suspension. All right. So then we come back. Then we go up. We play. We played Chevy Chase, and we beat like 12-5, something like that. But so of course after that Hampton Roads weekend, it's time to introduce those guys to the Michigan Mile in practice. And if you guys want to know who to thank for that, it was Mike Carlock. He taught me that a couple years ago, which is an incredible bag skate. I recommend it to all the other coaches coming up. They love it, right? So, then we come back, we beat those 2 teams, and then we have some more discipline issues with the referees and stuff like that, kind of talking to me after the game. So then we sit down with the kids, and we decide now's the time to kind of start talking about being young men of character, right? So I hit them with a statistic, and you should remember this. So out of 5 games, it's 225 minutes of hockey. How many penalty minutes did we have? No, 180. So needless to say, we needed to make a change. So as a veteran myself, and Coach Overby as well, we started talking about things like virtue that we kind of learned through like the warrior code, right? Things like honor, courage, integrity, discipline, and selflessness, right? And then we also talk about the principles of success as well. Having a definiteness of purpose, believing in that, and then surrounding yourself with the right people. And I think we did turn a corner after that. We had a really good run the rest of the season. We finished the league 18-2-2 with 98 goals for, 33 against, which is a .6 goals against average for the year, and a 4.45 goals for. So that's some pretty good hockey. We did 3 tournaments. We did runner-up at our first tournament in Allentown. The other 2 tournaments we did was Charlotte, Hemi Cup, and Raleigh, which we won both those tournaments undefeated. So our statistics there were 64 goals for and 19 against, which is 5.3 goals per game and 0.68 against. So overall for the season, we were 29-3-3 with 162 goals for 52 against, which is 4.62 and 0.67, which are some pretty good stats. I mean, I know we set out at the beginning of the year to win the CDHL. We fell in the first round of the playoffs, but those are some pretty incredible stats. If you're going 4.624, 0.67 against, you're going to win a lot of hockey games. And even the coach suspensions and all that kind of stuff, I mean, there's sometimes I never thought they could make me any angrier, but there were sometimes I could never be more proud either. There was some very exciting hockey to watch. When we played the systems that Ed helped us with, it was some really good hockey. What was it? It was not a ball. I know I jumped down off the bench trying to get the fist bump line too. You know, it was awesome. We even got some comments from opposing coaches and stuff like that in the handshake line. You guys got a great team. Pretty impressive. I know even some other players said something to our players like, "Man, your power play is just too much." And we did. We had a phenomenal power play, and it was awesome to watch. So I think we're going to go into team awards. So we've got some team awards here. So we're going to go with the Hart Award. This is the Robert. Where's it at? All right, Joseph Andrew Roberts, Hart Award. Sorry. So it's like our team MVP for the year, and that's going to go to Danny Boylan. Our offensive player of the year, Mr. Luke Kangas. I think you look in our, I'm going to put it in there somewhere. Yeah, Luke had 63 points this season. Our defensive player of the year, these are coaches and player captains awards, decided by the coaches and captains. Our defensive player, Aiden Robertson. Our most improved player of the year, Jacob Wilson, who's not here tonight. So he didn't improve on his attendance. Our team player, Alex Madry. Alex, Playmaker Awards, we've got 2 of them, and that's Blake Risberg and Brendan Allen. That top line of Risberg, Kangas, Alvey, they accumulated 142 points. And I didn't even put it up here in the notes here in the program. When I was going through and looking at these stats, I mean, for 3 defensemen to contribute 52 points, that's pretty good too. So, Robertson, Simone, and Waltrip. And our utility player, Joe Walchek.
Yeah.
Joe would play forward or defense wherever we needed him, and there were many times that we felt like we'd have 7, 8 players show up to a game, so we'd have to push Joe to forward or something like that. And he would, whatever role we asked him to play, fulfill, he would. So thanks very much, Joe. So then we got to get into our USA Hockey Awards. Is it an envelope up here? Right there. What do we want to start with? All right, Zero Club, Danny Boylan. Danny had 12 shutouts and a .933 goals against average. Our Playmakers, of course, the two of them are in that. Blake Risberg.
Good job, Blake.
Brendan Alvin. And Luke Candace. Now for the coveted hat trick awards, right? David Spadesha with 1 hat trick. Brendan Alvin, 2 hat tricks. Blake Risberg, 2 hat tricks. And Luke Candace, 5 hat tricks. So you don't have to be a hat trick or 2 and there were 63 points, right? So, that's pretty much all I've got. So now we get to the Sneed Award.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Doug Shorridge. I'm representing the Sneed family tonight. Gary and Leslie live in New York now, so getting back and forth is a little tough. Just want to tell you a little bit about Robert. He and my son grew up together, played hockey since 6 years old. I kind of blame the Sneed family for getting my son involved in this. It's cost us parents a lot of money, a lot of heartache, a lot of time. But I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. You guys are in the right sport. You're doing the right thing. Robert, when he was a kid, was infectious, and he spent as much time at my house as I think my son spent at his house. So from 6 or 7 years old, he was pretty much a train wreck. I mean, he just wanted to be outside constantly, had more energy than 5 kids. But he also had a huge, huge heart. He would do anything for anybody. He used to tell my daughter that they were going to get married one day, and she said, "That is absolutely not going to happen. You know, you're like my brother." So we laugh about that all the time. But he loved hockey. He just loved being out on the ice. He would drag my son out there, you know, an hour before we were supposed to be there. They'd get on the ice. He was, unselfish. He tried 100%, if not 110% every time. And I'll tell you one quick story. One of my fondest memories of Robert, and there's a bunch of them, but one of the coolest, and Ed was our coach at the time. We had our own little tournament in town, and we weren't supposed to be in it because we were a U16 team, and it was a U18 tournament. And so obviously Robert, he wasn't very big, and neither nor was my son at the time. So they let us play in that tournament because we were hosting it. So we were just praying we wouldn't get killed by any 18 kids, and there were a couple that were pretty good-sized kids. So somehow or another, through luck and a couple of coin tosses, whatever, we ended up making it to the finals against our U18 team. And they had some big kids, and Robert was pumped. And I think he scored the first goal and assisted on the second. Anyway, we beat our U18 team 2-1 to win the tournament. And Robert was just everywhere. Ed kept throwing him on ice, throwing him on ice. You know, he was playing center, he was playing defense, he played forward. You know, just put him on the ice. So he was that kind of kid, giving 110% all the time. So the recipients of these awards tonight implement that kind of character. And outside of the rink, he was a great student. He would help. He had a huge heart. So to get this honor tonight, I would think I'm very thankful to be here to talk about Robert. I'm sorry that Gary and Leslie couldn't be here, but congratulations to the team. Sounds like they had a great season, and congratulations to the kids that are going to get this award tonight. So thank you. Woo!
So this year, the organization decided to give away 2 Sneed scholarships. The coaches and we all sat down, kind of went through some things we talked about, like the character, on and off the ice, being a good student, stuff like that. So we came down to our first award winner, would be Brendan Simone. Brendan did a great job for us this year. he exemplified, the spirit of hockey. And he also, like, when we called on him to play forward and stuff towards the end of the season as well, he really helped boost our offensive game as well. He's naturally a defenseman, but so we pushed him up to forward, and he really helped us out. So appreciate it, Brendan. Good job. Our second award winner is Davis Fedation. David so was a great teammate to his teammates. Yeah. And then just represented the organization well whenever we traveled, stuff like that. So that was one of the reasons that we gave David that award, to say he represented us well as a great student and a good teammate to his team. Thank you very much, David. Can we get into the seniors now? Go party words for myself. So it was a great season, you guys. I mean, I told you guys everything in the locker room after our last game. So I'm not getting misty-eyed again. It is tough. It does go quick, parents. It really does. I mean, I started coaching since Abe was and learned to play over 10, 12 years ago. I don't know that I'll be able to give it up. Talking with a couple of coaches here tonight. You need to go back and coach PB House. That's just how much it's in my blood. I played the game since I was 7 years old myself. Loved coaching it. I refereed, coached, played, loved the game. You guys, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are going on to school to play. Some of you may not be, but to play adult hockey, they'll take you places. I had the good fortune of playing when I was in the Air Force overseas. Got to meet a lot of great people over there. A lot of times we would play, playing in England and Ireland and Norway and stuff like that. And it was a great time. And usually, I don't remember anything about the scores or anything over there. But we usually end up with the other team having adult beverages somewhere afterwards, right? So it was great, except for when we played the Army. And drink with the Army. But so who's up first here? Huh? Brendan out?
My name is Brendan Alvey. Not really known for public speaking, so just a heads up. I've been playing hockey for 12 years. To me, hockey meant having fun. Hockey has taught me many life lessons, such as overcoming adversity, creating teamwork, and making good decisions. Over the years, I've made so many memories with my family, teammates, and coaches. Hockey has given me so many opportunities and experiences that will last a lifetime. I'll never forget the first time I skated and my mom chased me all the way down the street. Ever since then, I've been hooked on sport. Some memories along the way have really stood out, good and bad. From getting injuries to skating at Lake Placid, it's been a good ride. Some of my favorite memories have been spending time with the guys on the team. It's been a lot of fun. Some advice for the younger hockey players would be to cherish every moment that you get on the ice. Always have a positive attitude and don't fear adversity. You can do anything you put your mind to. Also, never be afraid to take the extra stride. I would like to thank my parents for always pushing me to be the best that I can and for making so many sacrifices so that I can do what I love. I'd also like to thank my sister. Let's see. In October, I swore into the Air Force Reserves, so throughout the season, I've had to serve a weekend out of each month, and a lot of those weekends were hockey weekends. So, yeah, I had to miss them. I'll be heading to Texas in June for basic training and tech school. After that, my commitment is 6 years of service. I also plan to attend Auburn University and major in professional flight to become a pilot. Yeah, I'd just like to thank all these guys. It's been a heck of a ride playing hockey with them. Some of my best friends, so thank you.
So I've actually played hockey only for 9 years. I played in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but for most of my time was in Roanoke. I also played with Charlottesville against a lot of these guys. And through circumstances of not being able to play juniors because of boarding and just living so far away and prep school and Charlottesville's rink shutting down, I was actually came to this team to play. My family and I used to visit other family in Columbus, and I'd go watch Rick Nash and the Blue Jackets lose with my family. But watching the Rookie of the Year and Vezina candidate Steve Mason and Pascal Leclerc really made me want to play hockey. And through the years, playing hockey was just such a great pastime. Although Roanoke was an hour away, Charlottesville is maybe an hour and a half, and Richmond is 2 hours away, the drive was always worth it. Every first year with the new team is new. It's kind of interesting to say the least. And coming to Richmond, it was pretty great. I was coming off the high of speaking to prep schools in Vermont and a tier 2 juniors team in New Hampshire, as well as the Richmond Generals junior organization. I was happily shocked when I came to play for the U18 team to be surrounded by such raw talent players. And it also came with a lot of success and friendships. Any advice for the younger kids? I mean, one big thing that we often overlook is how much our parents actually do for us, especially when it comes to playing hockey. Whether it's just like the drive here or driving to practice or so much of that, and also paying a lot of money. For us to play the sport, it's just such a great time, and you can never forget how much your parents are giving up for you to be able to do this. And while I'm on thanks, I want to thank the players behind me, the coaches that have gotten me here, the players that have also referred me to play for this organization, and my parents, obviously, as I just said. And I'm happy right now where I am. I've made it into several universities, but at this time, I've been speaking with several junior organizations, which is 21 and under, that I look to sign with in April.
My apologies to Danny for forgetting to mention that earlier, that Danny lives in Lexington, Virginia. So he came twice a week, 2 hours each way, to practice in that coveted time slot of 8:55 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Never missed a practice, maybe one, two that you in advance one. Yeah, something that, so my hat's off to Danny and his family. Really, Scott, for getting him here. That is a huge commitment. So thanks again, guys. And then TG.
All right, so my name is Tyler Goodwin. I've been playing hockey for the last 7 years. Picked up ice hockey around 4 years ago when it was still the Royals, and just fell in love with it. I mean, these guys right here, I've been playing with them all my life. I mean, it's great. It's really great. But over the years, I learned a lot, especially selflessness. Always learned that the team is always playing their best when it's not selfish play at all. Just stick to the systems. It's what I've learned works best. If I have any advice to tell younger players, just stick with the game. It'll always bring good things to you. That's all I got.
year were Kangas, Alvin, and Robertson. Luke, I'm just gonna, since he's my captain, I put a lot on these guys. When I said there needed to be a change after we had some discipline issues and when I was watching games rather than coaching them, I put on these guys to help me turn this ship around, and these guys did. So thank you guys for that. Luke is an animal. Watching him play, he led us in offense, of course, and he also led us in penalty minutes. If you're gonna do something, you do it right, and that's Luke, right? Thanks, buddy.
Good evening, I'm Luke Kangas. I just want to start off by thanking all my coaches, current and previous, helped me become the player that I've become. I want to thank my parents for sacrificing so much time and money to allow me to play the sport I love. They've had to sit through countless hours on 95, put thousands of miles on the cars, and give up so many, what could have been free weekends for games. And I want to thank my teammates for everything they've done, pushing me to be the best player I can be. And I want to thank my grandparents for doing all that they've done for me as well. And I've had this previous season, I had the honor and privilege of being captain of our team. And our goal from day one was win the CBHL championship. Sadly, that did not happen. We didn't accomplish that goal, but we did accomplish a much more important goal in the long run. We grew as hockey players and as young men. Early in the season, Coach Robertson expressed us the warrior code. And I think everyone here took something away from that. It taught us to live with integrity, loyalty, courage, honor, and selflessness. And ever since, first 5 games we had 180 million minutes. Ever since then, everyone kind of calmed it down and took a little bit from that. And that's about all I got. Oh yeah, there's a little on the back. Yeah. I want to thank everyone, coaches, teammates, everything like that. And I will be going to Alvernia University to play ACHA Division II hockey and pursue a doctorate degree in physical therapy.
My name is Alex Madry. I've been playing hockey for around 7 years. I started when I was 11. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to my dad for driving me 2 times a week to practice because it's 2 hours both ways, an hour practice, and then obviously an hour back. And for pretty much every weekend during the season, driving me to games, tournaments, which obviously puts a lot of waste in the wallet, and it's a pretty expensive sport. And as I've started to progress in hockey, I've realized to appreciate your parents and your coaches and teammates a lot more because they're pretty much the people who drive you to be the best person you can be. And also, the advice I would give to younger kids is confidence, because pretty much if you're confident going into the game and going into practice, you'll be able to perform at the best of your ability, and it's pretty much the max cap of obviously being the best player you can be. And being confident leads to winning play is a healthy attitude, and like I said, being the best player you can be for your teammates. And obviously the season's over, but after this season I'll be planning on going to college at a community college and hopefully transferring to a 4-year and possibly even playing club hockey. And other than that, I pretty much have nothing, but thank you.
Andrew Owens. Andrew, goaltender, helped us out sometimes when Danny couldn't be there. He helped us out a couple tournaments.
Hello, my name is Andrew Owens.
and I've been playing hockey competitively for 10 years now. Hockey has done great things for me. It has created great friendships, brought me to new places, and created exciting opportunities. I will never forget the amazing people I've met in Richmond hockey, as well as elsewhere. My advice for younger hockey players is to take every opportunity to get better. Don't waste your practice time. Also, don't be afraid to fall down. Failure is essential for your success on and off the ice. First of all, I would like to thank my parents, Rebecca Dumont and Lee Wall, for their long-lasting support of my dreams. None of what I've accomplished would have been possible without you. Next, I would like to thank all of my great coaches over the years, especially Frank Heller, Darren Wetherill, and Stacy Pollard. Lastly, I would like to give a special thanks to Ms. Fidacia and the rest of the U18 team for allowing me to participate in this year's banquet. Next year, I plan on continuing my hockey career, potentially in the Generals Junior program or elsewhere. Thank you.
Up next, Aiden Robertson.
What's up, guys? I'm Aiden Robertson. I'm gonna play. Oh yeah, bro. We'll play hockey for 10 years. I've made lots of memories with these guys. I started playing hockey in Ohio. I moved here to Richmond in the 7th grade. So most of my travel hockey careers in Richmond wouldn't have been any way. I've learned a lot of lessons about perseverance and whatnot. I just want to say thank you to my teammates, these wonderful guys up here, my coaches, Coach Ness actually, for teaching me to simplify my game, and my parents, most of all, for all the hundreds of dollars they shelled out for me. No, they really, they've been there with me through thick and thin. They've always had money for new equipment when I needed it and all that, so I really want to thank them. And Gold Gens.
Mr. Sealy.
Hello, my name is Joe Seeley, and I've been a part of the hockey program here in Richmond since I was about 5 years old. Hockey has truly shaped my life by teaching me loyalty, discipline, and respect for one another. Along the way, I have made some of my best friends and captured some really great memories from all kinds of different cities. I would like to thank my parents for carting me up and down the country for as long as I can remember and making all this possible for me. I would also like to thank all of my incredible coaches that have taught me many different skills on and off the ice. Next year I will be attending Auburn University and may even think about trying out for their club team in the fall. I wish all the younger guys best of luck and hope they have the same great experience as I did. Thank you.
Randy Simone. Yeah, with the haircut. Yeah, it's working for him.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Simone. I've been ice skating for as long as I can remember. To be more precise, since I was 2 years old. At first I hated skating and I hated playing hockey. I didn't want to be on the ice at all. But over the many years of playing, I've grown to love being on the ice. It has been where I felt most comfortable. Throughout the years of playing, I've moved from AAA to AA to single A. I've gone from the Royals to the Storm to the Proud to Little Caps and back around to the Generals. It has been quite the journey for me, but one that cannot be made possible without my parents. My parents have allowed me to play the sport that I love for so many years. Mom and Dad, thank you from the bottom of my heart for the countless hours spent driving me to practices and games, and the countless dollars spent so that I could continue to play each year. You guys are the reason that this sport has become such a big part of who I am.
I've made memories that I will have for a lifetime, and I thank both of you so much for supporting me for the last 13 years of my youth hockey career. I would also like to thank my teammates, especially those on this team who have helped shape me as a person, and to my coaches who have always taught me that hockey is bigger than just a sport. Next year, I plan to attend either James Madison or Virginia Tech, and will look to continue either hockey or lacrosse at the club level there. Thank you.
Daniel Spadation, aka Skittles.
My name is Daniel Station. These past hockey seasons have been the best experiences of my life. I've made some of the best memories with the boys on and off the ice. My most memorable season was with Coach Bill Robertson, Ed Schulman, and Eric. They have taught me a lot about hockey and life in general. And I want to personally thank my parents for all the support and for driving me to every single game with them. Thank you.
David.
Hi, I'm David Station. I've had the privilege of playing travel ice hockey for these past 7 years, and the memories I've made over these years have been unparalleled. Over the course of these many years, I've made many friends, I've enjoyed this great sport, and I've enriched myself in many on and off ice lessons. To me, playing hockey isn't just a sport, it's an opportunity to be better than the last, and to become a better player and person. The connections I've also encountered through hockey have also been very extensive. This worldwide, hugely supportive hockey community is very important. As I say my final goodbye to the world of youth ice hockey, I would like to first off extend my gratitude to both my mom and my dad for everything they've given to me over the years. Their time during the hockey season, patience during long seasons, and their support to keep me skating. To my coaches, it requires a special person to volunteer and give back to this great sport. To all the coaches I've had over the years, I thank you for making me the best player and person that I could be. As I move on to the next chapter of my life, I am going to study mechanical engineering at Virginia Tech, and I'm considering playing for their club hockey team.
Joe Walton.
Hi, I'm Joe. I've been playing organized hockey since I was 10. I've had a love for the game since I was 6. Hockey has been the best time of my life. I would have never experienced what it's like to win or lose and die. Hockey has also taught me about teamwork, accountability, work ethic, and camaraderie. Some of the things I'll remember about are all the tournaments that we won, the weekends with the boys, all the practices, the dumb and fun stuff we did, and how we were still best buddies through it all. I would like to thank all the coaches I've had in Richmond, from Coach Heller, Kravchuk, Simone, Bischoff, Chicane, Schwab, Robertson, OB, and Sherman. I would also like to thank all my teammates along the way. The biggest thanks goes to my mom and dad for the countless practices, road trips, weekends in hotels, and long talks in the car that just never seemed to end. In the fall, I will be attending BCU and majoring in business administration. Looking back now that I'll never suit up for a Generals game again, the memories with the boys live on. Thank you to all Gens.
And wrapping it all up, Malaki.
Good evening, everybody. I've been playing hockey since I was 7 years old. Hockey's meant the world to me. In many ways, it has shaped me into the person that I am today. It has also taught me my valuable traits such as teamwork, leadership, and passion. What I remember most from playing for the Generals organization is the relationships that I've made throughout the years and the bonds I've made that will never be broken. The advice I have for kids coming up in the organization is to acknowledge how much your parents have done for you to allow you to play. Once you get older, you realize the amount of time, driving, and money needed to play this great sport. I would like to thank my family, my teammates, my coaches, and God. Although my next steps aren't finalized yet, my goal is to continue to play the sport I love, whether that be with junior general program or college hockey. Thank you. We have some presents for the coaches.
Nice job, guys.
This is it. We don't have anybody missing. Nobody's on vacation. Nobody's on lacrosse. This is our team. We played with 10 skaters and a goalie all season long. With the exception of a couple weekends where I think we only had 9 because some parents think they can go do other things during hockey season. I haven't figured that one out yet. But we started the conversation of putting this sport team together about a year or so ago. The Tier 2 organization had not had a sport team in a couple years. And we knew whatever we were going to put together was going to be brand new. We didn't have any second-year kids stepping in to fill some roster spots. So we put the tryouts out there, and we had just enough kids come to tryouts, and we had just enough kids commit to play on our team here. So a very young and experienced team from the start. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle all year long. The kids did a great job, practiced hard all season, played hard all season, and I think we had a success all the way through. Let me start by thanking some of the people that helped us have a good, successful year. First, our team manager, David Sutherland, your new Tier 2 president. According to Mark Bond, you're in a flawless season for us. Inside joke. My assistant coaches, James, I love my tiramisu beer, Kleckner. Josh, sometimes I'm mistaken for a player, Soda. And Mark, I'm just in this for the free general sweatsuit bond. Obviously, our coaching to player ratio was pretty adequate, I think, but to keep these kids in line with their minute attention spans, it takes an army of people to do so. Last summer after we had the team picked, we had to get together with the parents and the kids, let them all kind of bond and get to know each other. I didn't know some of the players because they were brand new. And we had some discussions about the Tier 2 organization and how it works and what makes it different from House League and Selects and all that, because a lot of our parents just weren't familiar with it. And I had to explain to them that, stepping into the CBHL was going to be a whole different world for these kids. The powerhouses of an Ashburn and a Reston and a Nova and a Caps Academy, they were going to see good, consistent competition all season long. And so when we got the season started, the schedule came out, and I looked at the schedule, and of course our first 2 games were against Ashburn. I mean, right off the bat. So I figured if we're going to jump in the pool, we might as well jump in the deep end. And to top that off, we only had 5 practices before our first game, because our season started in the middle of September, not in October like most of them do. So right off the bat, we stepped up against one of the primary foes there in our league and one of the tougher opponents. And the kids did great. I was surprised. I went into that game thinking, man, the mercy rule is going to hit us in the first period. This is going to be a quick trip for Ashburn. But we fought hard, we fought well, and we made it through all 3 periods in both games. As the season went on, I kind of break our season into 2 different stages. I'd say probably through the end of December was our learning curve. I think out of the 24 games, we only got 4 victories in there. And some of the defeats that we had were, 8, 9, 10 goals here and there. But when we came out of Christmas break, I don't know what happened, but somebody flipped the switch. And we had a whole different team come out there and start playing that January, February, March hockey. And we ended up putting a 6 or 7 game winning streak together. We won our tournament in Charleston, went undefeated down there. And we ended the season with a 10-7 run, which was just phenomenal for these kids. I think we had a game in Novos. I first came back after the Christmas break, and about a month before, they had clobbered us. They beat us like 10-2. And so we were up there playing them up on their ice, and probably 3-4 minutes left in the game, we had them on 5-4. You could feel it. We were going to win this game. And darn if they didn't score a goal with 1 second left to tie it. But I think that game is kind of what triggered these kids to realize that if we go out there and skate hard, put the effort out there, we can play with any of the teams we're going to go up against this year. So they did a great job second half of the season. So we don't base anything on wins and losses. I know the parents, the kids, the coaches, all alike throughout the year, we could see the improvement and the development of these kids. Even though we were losing games early, you could see them getting better and better every game that we played. And they always practiced hard, they always showed up. We played with sick kids, we played with hurt kids, we played with a little bit of everything, but we made it through the season, and I think it was a great success for everyone. So let's get to some of the patches here. I've got the hat trick patches first. Adam Rabel had 4 hat tricks for us this year. Wyatt Lindo had a hat trick as well. And Nicholas Barnes had 5 hat tricks. However, his dad was the unofficial statistician, so we're going to check that. And we also had a 0 club for our goalie Maddox. For our Joseph Roberts Hart Award, you know, I could have picked any kid on this team probably to take this award, the way they played this year, the way they practiced and held together as a team. I flipped back and forth in my head over 4 or 5 of these kids nonstop for the past couple weeks. But the player I decided to go with, I picked because always showed up for practice, never complained, was working on the ice, was working off the ice. It was always a hard effort that was being put forward. And it was certainly liked by everybody in the locker room. So my selection for this season for our Joseph Hart Award for the Squirts is Adam Rayburn. I want to thank everybody else that helped make our season a success. The parents for getting the kids there to the games, taking the Fridays off from work, doing everything we had to do to make the season a success. And last but not least, I want to congratulate my daughter Riley for being a state champion gymnast as of this morning. Thank you. Wyatt says they've got coaching gifts to hand out.
U12 team, you can come up here. Good evening. I just want to start off with a couple thanks. I want to thank the board for everything they do behind the scenes. A lot of work that we never see to run this program, and thank you for organizing this great event. I'd also like to thank Coach Nichols. Hands down, could not have been able to do this season without him, so thank you. Also like to thank thank the team manager, Rachel Jones. For all the team managers out there, everyone should know they put in some serious hours during the week to organize all the tournaments, a lot of emails, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So thank you to the team manager for all your hard work. For the players, after our last game, we had a long talk, and the first assignment for the offseason was to thank their parents and to thank their siblings for such a long year. So parents and siblings, hopefully they did that after the last game. And if they didn't, parents, you can come talk to the coaches and we can organize some conditioning speaks at the start of next season. All right. And as for the players go this season, when the season started, we started with we didn't talk about wins and losses. We were talking about getting better every time you guys step on the ice. That mentality we want to carry through the entire season of every time you step on the ice, you're better than the day before. And in order to do that, they had to come together as a team first. And to start the season, we had players coming from 4 different cities. A lot of players didn't know each other. We only had 2 returning players from the Pee Wee team the season prior. And they did that. They came together very quickly, and they played together, and they bought into the team concept. They played together throughout the season. Secondly, they had to buy into team systems. Some of them had never played travel hockey before. They had to learn, just the basics, the D-zone coverage. I remember our first game, we were up in Pittsburgh in the preseason tournament, and we went down 3 goals pretty quickly. And I know I looked over at Coach John, I was like, oh, we got some work ahead of us, but actually they came back and tied that game, which kind of leads me into the second part, is they had to buy into our team identity, which was outwork everyone. And this team never gave up. The best way I can describe it is, we were down a few times this season in games, and you just look at them, and they had that look in their eye that they just did not care. They did not care what the score was. They did not care where we were playing. If we were up in Michigan in a snowstorm playing Silver Stick Finals, wherever we were, they just did not care, and they never gave up. And they definitely bought into the team systems and our team identity, which is outwork everyone. So from there, we got to some team awards to go through. For the hat trick award, he had 2 hat tricks throughout the season. We got Ethan Hoover. And this next player had 3 hat tricks throughout the season. Ryan Gonzalez. Next one, Ethan Tangway. Next one, Blaine Nichols. Next one, Avery Pleasance. And we have 4 Playmaker Awards. Blaine Nichols, Ethan Hoover, Ryan Babala, and Avery Pleasant. And the Zero Club Award, he had 3 shutouts throughout the season. And for our Joseph Roberts Award, this player, one of the best compliments I can give a player is, I know every time they step on the ice, they're going to give 100%. Whether they get a bad bounce or not, they're always going to give 100%. He's a great teammate, set a great example to all the other players, and just really had a great season individually. But like I said, he made better players He made players around him better. And the Joseph Andrew Roberts Award this year goes to Blaine Nichols. And I know this team, as long as they continue with that mentality of always getting better, this team has a very bright future. Thank you.
Soldiers, now we're coming up. 14 AA. First off, I'd just like to thank a few people tonight. I'd like to thank Krista Dacia for all the work she does with this banquet, and just for the organization itself, and helping with the last tournament in Detroit, which was a best one for these guys here. Also, I'd like to thank Mark Chevron, our manager, for the last couple of years. He's helped out big time. He has to put up with Mike Lyons and all the change of schedule, but it's come with the territory, so. All right, I'd like to thank Generals Banquet for the last 7 years. He's helped me out as my assistant for the last 7 years. I appreciate all the help he's done with me. And now it's time to pass the 14s on to him. So I'd just like to thank him for all the help he's done with me. A lot of these kids here. So, and parents, you know, these guys wouldn't be up here without you. Just like I said, all the money you guys put into it, the countless hours, bringing them to practice, getting them on time. You know, now the Ecclestons still have a little trouble with that, but I'm kind of broken out. At least they get to practice now. Yeah. I'd like to thank all the parents that over the last 5, 6, 7 years have been able to coach their kids. It's been an honor for me to be able to coach their kids, and just raise a great bunch of kids here. So, we got just one USA Hockey Award, and it was a hat trick award, and it goes to Tucker Eccleston. Like every year, the Joseph Hart Award, it's always a tough award to give away. You know, I've been doing it for the last 5, 6 years, and just every year it's hard to give it to one player, especially when you have a great bunch of kids like I have here. And every year it's kind of been somebody different. Last year was 2 guys, but this year, my Joseph Hart Award player, he wasn't the biggest guy, he wasn't my fastest guy, but you couldn't measure the size of his heart out there, no. Because whenever he went out there, if you told him to go through the wall for you, he would. And one game I remember when we were in Potomac, we were up 3-2, and there was like 20 seconds left. And I just told the players that make sure the puck gets out. And I remember the puck being by our bench, and this one fella came flying over there. He did whatever he could to get that puck out. And all of a sudden, a scrum broke out, and I just went back to my hockey days, and I started grabbing guys because 2 of my players jumped the bench, and it was like right at the end of the game. And started grabbing guys, didn't even know I was grabbing guys. And all of a sudden, I see the guy started the scrum, he was sitting beside me on the bench. Where this guy? He was like a Houdini out there. But not only did he leave an impression on the ice with me, he also left me with 7 stitches over my right eye. So he's always going to be never forgotten by me. And I love coaching you. And my Joseph Hart Award trophy goes to Sean the Prick. As the kids call him, they call him double meat, because one time I ended up taking Chipotle, all the time he's a double meat. So. I read that. Yeah. But lastly, I'd just like to, like I said, thank these players here. Some of them I've coached since they were mites. Now I can see some of them are taller than me out here. But just the time they put in with me for the last 7 years, some of them, some 5, some first year people, but I couldn't ask for a greater bunch of kids. The coach for the last 6, 7 years, some of you first year, second year, but I couldn't ask for a better group to have some memories with. Just going back to our Royals days when we went up to Charlotte and ended up getting our butts beat the first game against the Stingrays, and then coming back in the finals and beating them in overtime to win the championship. You know, those are memories that you'll never forget. And even the ones we lost, we went to Hershey and played 3 games on Sunday against the host team and lost 2-1, 10 seconds in overtime. You know, those things will always be with me, and hopefully you guys will remember those. But there was no better way to end our season than going to Hockey Town. You know, that was a great tournament. Like I said, we don't measure our wins and losses and how these guys improved over the year, because I had 10 guys in the first year checking, and we were playing against the lead of the elite in the CWHL, AA. We had 3 teams in the top 28 in the country, and these kids went out there, 10 of them, first year bounds, and I got them through it, and nobody got hurt. You know, we had one guy that had a broken collarbone before he even started, so that wasn't my fault. Then we had another guy just, you know, fell down and broke his wrist. But other than that, might have a couple concussions here and there, but everybody got through the season. Everybody got through the season healthy, and I think they've become better players and better people throughout the year, and from Mike from now. So it's been a pleasure for me to coach you guys, and just like to thank you guys for all 100% effort you guys gave, and off ice and practice. And can't say enough for all you guys have done. Thank you.
I could go on about our accomplishments and use the usual hockey cliches, but I'd rather use my time here to talk briefly about the players. That is what really it's all about. The whole season is about them. If they develop individually, respect, and enjoy each other socially as a group, then we as a team were successful. I have 16 players here. 30 seconds or less on each of these players is not nearly enough to scratch the surface on how these young men are. But we're going to give it a go here. Starting with the goals, the 2 Jacks. Big Z came from Charlottesville for every practice. Z started the year looking like a house league recreational style goalie and developed into a tier level goalie. Very quiet and what I would call your typical goalie that brought a smile to the ring every time he came. Keller was my backup goalie last year at the lower A level. He quickly adapted to the increase of speed and skill As the season progressed, his numbers got better and better. Both goalies were determined to get better and were very proactive with additional coaching and with the video review. All right, we're going to talk about the defense. Sethi, the player that will do whatever you ask him with no complaints. Moving from forward to defense to make his team better is just one example of the sacrifice that this passionate young man brought to the team every practice and every game. Aiden. Like most father coaches, there's always a level of expectation that is never met. I was probably the hardest of finding out of all the players for those unfair reasons. Special thanks to Tommy, Ted, and Kate for helping me out to try and get through to him when his coach turned and all he hears is his dad screaming at him. Surrounded by incredible talent, this is one of the best years for his development. Corber, another two-sport athlete. Tough year when dealing with head injuries. I initially laughed when I heard that my best penalty killer was stricken with a water polo injury. I had no idea that water polo was such a violent sport. However, it was quite serious concussion, and Noah fought through it and made his way back to the ice. He was an inspiration to his teammates for his determination to come back from injury and finish the season strong. Ian, don't poke the bear. Some kids like to play on the edge, and Ian throughout the season was walking that fine line with the refs on where exactly that edge was. He fell off that edge, right into 2 and 10 more than a couple of times, but playing with passion comes with that price. When playing big physical teams, you always want to be in your lineup. Cade, captain of our team, and was a leader on and off the ice. I learned a lot from Cade this year. Cade dealt with issues off the ice that most grown-ups I know would not even handle nearly as well. It's these reasons, among many others, that remind us what it takes to be a true leader. Thank you, Cade, from the entire team and the coaching staff, for stepping up and being that guy and never taking a shit down. Offense. All right. Kangas. Without Kangas, we would have only had half the power play opportunities that we did this season. His ability to draw penalties was unlike any other player I've ever coached. The team notices this and held Brady with the highest respect for being able to take this continued abuse game after game. The toughest kid on the team who would just go out there shift after shift looking for more. Reigns. Give this kid some time and space and he will not disappoint you. Wicked wrist shot and silky hands, Reigns saved the best for last when he scored the tying goal and the game-winning goal in the semifinal game of our last tournament, allowing us to play in the championship. I can see Reigns developing into that clutch player for years to come. Nick. Nobody loves the game more than Nick. When I drag my ass out of bed at 5 a.m. to take my kid to summer hockey morning skates, Nick is already there, taking advantage of the extra ice. Hockey camps and watching tape, Nick is always trying to improve his game and take it to the next level. That level of dedication will lead to success. Karlock. The kid on the team that you always have to tell to turn it down. And that's not a bad thing. Karlock drives the net with reckless abandon, tenacity, that sometimes gets him in trouble almost as much as his mouth does. Bob. Play with more passion, and I need you to really get under the skin of the other team was something that I never had to say to this guy. In any game that Karlock played for me, love the passion, hate the penalties, Bob is just pure energy. Simon. Hands down our fastest player. Some players are fast with the puck, some players are fast at getting the pucks. Simon is just fast all the time. A reliable player that you could put up in any situation, power play, PK, it didn't matter. Simon was a go-to guy. Every shift Simon gave 100% and was recognized by the Nation coaching staff for it. Mojo, our pure goal scorer. Some of the prettiest goals we scored this season were from Mojo, and some of the ugliest goals on your back, sliding past the net, with someone pushing your cage into the ice were from Mojo's stick. Mojo would start a shift with a blue jersey, and by the end of the shift, he was covered in ice shavings. Sometimes it looked like a snowman coming to the bench. Crofty. We had a challenge this year of taking one of our top 2 defensemen and turning him into a goal scorer. Crofty stepped up to the challenge and put some pucks in the net for us. Crofty paid the price for our check, and I had the pleasure of getting to know the CBHL's Director of Supplementary Discipline on numerous occasions, through emails and face-to-face. Ryan Krawchuk, happy to provide the Richmond Generals representation in the CBHL head offices. Haji, another 2-sport player and a natural athlete. Among the 2,003 that came out from the UA program, Dylan was the steepest curve of development. On a team with only 3 forward lines, ice time was pretty low, with the exception of special teams. By the end of the season, Dylan was first-line power play and first-line PK. At heavy minutes, I'm not sure that I would never let you down. Finn. Finn is one of those players that season after season has a letter on his jersey, or Whether it's an A or a C, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't even need to wear a letter. Players just know by example on and off the ice who we are. Finn always fills that role. We can talk about leading in points, leading in ice time, highlight reels and stats, all great individual accomplishments. But intelligence, communication, and dedication are some of what I consider more important tangibles, and Finn excels at all those. He'll make a great coach, but hopefully not for a while. It has been a pleasure coaching this team, one of the best locker rooms I've ever been a part of. Players and parents respect one another, and basketball is absolutely no drama. We played 39 games this season. Every one of them was hard fought, team effort. What was a very memorable season. Lots of games, lots of memories. We have the awards, but our dad just didn't come through for us, so we're just going to name them out here. All right. For Patrick, we got Finn. We got Reigns for a hat trick as well. Robert got a hat trick. Finn had a playmaker badge. And our two Jacks both got shutouts. Alright, and last year, a Hart Award. It's always difficult award to give out because the athletes that give this award are subjective and pretty immeasurable. But for a team, the end of the season eventually found us on the calendar, and a decision had to be made for this award. The decision was actually easier than I thought, because when I discussed it, the one name came out as number one choice both times, but for reasons, which made it even more compelling to pick this individual. My reasoning was the bridge he made between the 2003 and 2002s. He was the glue that kept the pieces from falling apart. He was skilled, dedicated, never gave up, no matter what the odds or how they were stacked against him. He could be slotted anywhere on our depth chart, and it would make the line better. The only knock I have on this young man is that he has to learn how to say no. I feel as coaches sometimes we ask too much and we push and push and push, and the guy always answers no. Even when he looks like death on the bench and is about to pass out, he's pulling himself up to get back out on the ice. As he comes up to accept this award, he is nursing a dislocated shoulder. And if I asked him to play, it would not surprise me if he said yes. Bill. I just want to thank everybody in this organization for giving me this opportunity this year. We all had a great time, and looking forward to next year.
How you doing? Here at the 16 Upper A team. I'm Coach Hartz, Doug Hartz, Larry Ivan, John Drake. Just like so many teams ahead of us have said this, but I just want to thank the parents and the kids for the commitment, dedication they had throughout the season, coming to the practices, all the travel that's involved. We had a couple kids that were coming from a pretty long distance away. They didn't miss many times on the ice whatsoever. So thank you very much for that throughout the season. I want to thank Larry and John for helping coach out. We were truly a coaching team. We all three complemented each other in different ways, and were able to put things together pretty well. Each one sort of looked at things a little bit differently, and sitting down, we could put all the thoughts and ideas on the table together and just come up with an idea and a game plan to get things going in a positive direction for the season. Special thanks goes out to our team manager, John Getz, who could have done it without him. He was phenomenal throughout the whole season. I don't even want to think about the time, the hours that he put in as far as making sure all the travel, hotel stuff was taken care of. But more importantly, when we went to some of the tournaments to make sure that we would be in a bracket that was to our caliber. So thank you very much, John, for everything you did. Also want to thank to John Raleigh. I don't think he's here tonight, but he helped out with some of the off-ice conditioning throughout the season. And also Randy Roberts, who showed up to most of our practices and was our on-site goalie coach throughout the season, helping Nathaniel and Paul throughout. Our season sort of been said not real successful as far as you look at the record, but we put it down as a character building season. These kids came a long way. They were sort of fighting an uphill battle from the beginning, and they never gave up. They never had their head down. They fought through and kept trying and trying and trying, and that says a lot to their character as a team, as an individual. We did have some successes when we went to the tournaments. I'll get to that in a second. But throughout the regular season, we did have a few close games, and we came up short pretty much every time. This team made up of a very unique, wide range of personalities, let me tell you. On the ice, it's sometimes like curtain cats. When we went to the tournaments and we're doing the off-ice stuff outside the rink, you're sitting there, you're looking across the parking lot of the team that you're ready to play, and they're all in straight lines, and it's all organized or whatever. And, the best analogy, I can't remember who said it, but you sit there to run around the parking lot, whatever, and come back. And for the older people here, you remember the movie Stripes? When they come off the obstacle course, and you're like, oh, here comes. Is that our team? No, because they're in a straight line. Here comes yours. They're like coming through the woods, screaming around. That's these guys. But they're able to put together, and on the bench in the locker room, I mean, the bonds they made, the friendships they made, just tremendous, and things that will last a lifetime. I can say that from where we started the season to where we ended the season, definitely a totally different team. The development that they showed, the skills that they improved throughout was just phenomenal. And what gives credence to that is we had two teams we played, both of them at the beginning of the season. One team we played right around Christmas again, and we played them again at the end. The other team we played at the beginning of the season and right before the end. And going through the handshake line after the game, both coaches said they could not believe how much this team had improved from the first time that they played them and they progressed throughout the season. So hats off to y'all tremendously for that. We did have our challenges, and we did get mercy a couple times. The most memorable time we went up and played a team up in Maryland, and come to find out, some of our parents got to talking to their parents, and last year they had a double-A team. They didn't have enough kids to field a double-A team, so they brought probably about 6 or 7 kids down to play upper A. So we had a Saturday, Sunday game up there. Saturday's game was pretty good. I mean, we lost, I think, 6-2 or something like that. But after the game, you could hear that coach in the locker room screaming at their kids. Y'all should have beat them a whole lot more than what you did, that type of thing, whatever. So he took care of it Sunday morning, because what he did was he put all the double-A kids on one line. So in the first, 3 minutes, it was already 3-0, and we lasted till like the last minute of the game, and they mercied us like 11-1. So again, character building. We did have, we were fortunate, we picked up Nathaniel O'Connell from Charlottesville as an extra goalie. When did you join? Late October, November? somewhere in there. And that was a huge addition to the team. Very solid in net, and the kids with him back there behind them, you know, they played extra hard, and they had that confidence that they had somebody back there that was going to make the stop if somebody did get through. So it's just a whole other mentality, a whole other effort that they had when he joined on the team. When we went to the tournaments, we played 3 tournaments throughout the year, and we had great success in the tournaments. We played more in the caliber that we should have been in, and in the 3 tournaments we played, we went to the championship game all 3 times. So we came up short the first 2 times, and we were able to win gold down in Raleigh a few weeks ago, which was just incredible. What a way to finish the season. After during a long, hard-fought season without much success to end the whole season in the tournament, last game we got to play together, and we win the gold medal. So it was just incredible to sit there and see the smiles on their faces and the gold medals hanging around their necks as they skated around after the game. It was great. So we do have some team awards here, and I'm going to go through some of the stats here real quick. But as for our goal leaders, Alex Ivan led the team with 16 goals. Mason Hart had 14. Joey Guest had 12. Assists, Mason Hart had 17. Ryan Blasick had 11. And Alex Ivan had 10. So total points, Mason Hart had 31. Alex Ivan had 26. Joey Getz and Ryan Blasick both tied at 17 points overall. All right, now for our team awards here. Hat trick award. Alex Ivan had 2 hat tricks throughout the year. Mason Hart had 1 hat trick. As far as our Playmaker Awards, again, Alex Ivan and Mason Hart. And Nathaniel, our goalie, had 2 shutouts, so he's got to do it. As far as our Heart Award, the coaches, we talked about this, and we both, all 3 of us had some ideas and thoughts, and you know, everybody's in agreement that, you know, this player, he might not have been the best player on the team or best player out on the ice, but the one thing you could say for him is every time he showed up, whether practice, game, whatever, he was 100% every second he was there. He always did what was asked of him, 100% effort, great attitude, never questioned what was being said or what was being told or instructions, never complained, and just an overall positive attitude throughout. And I've said many times that, you know, if he could play to the side of his heart, he'd be just incredible. But our heart trophy goes to Blake Smith. Larry, John, everything you want to say?
It's course to check.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'll keep it short though. From September until now, I'm always amazed by how far our kids develop. And I am convinced that this is the best opportunity these kids have to develop into the kind of player that they want to be. So hands down, there's nothing else in town that can touch it. And I'm greatly appreciative of all the coaches, all the parents, all the players for all the effort they give. So give yourself a round of applause. So in the middle of the 6-month run, it feels like forever, but all of a sudden it's over in the blink of an eye. I cannot wait to get started for next season. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Hey, Matt.
I'll just stand here.
You guys like the slides?
Yeah, I did have one suggestion.
What?
Should make everybody else's look a lot better.
What do you, oh, you mean
Because, you know,
the other
all
teams?
the highlights, yeah, on ours.
I didn't have, like, anybody else. I told him to send me shit.